The unabating rise of insecurity in some parts of the country obviously has gone out of government control. It is indeed worrisome, going by the alarming number of people killed on a daily basis. The increasingly messy and nasty way in which the bandits are making life unbearable for Nigerians is unthinkable. The boldness and audacity with which the insurgents carry out their atrocities is worrisome. Despite the previous administration's questionable claims of a technical defeat of the insurgents, the killings across the country persist and continue to put the country on a bad light in the Committee of Nations. Discussing this worrisome situation with me is the public affairs analyst Elijah Ayodele. This is Political Matters, and I am Michael Adekunle. Elijah, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure being here once again. I'm glad to be here.
Wow, good to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Right. You're talking about insecurity, and this is not the first time we'll be saying this, but this is the first time we're saying it's the administration of the newly sworn-in president, Tinubu. In less than a month, we've seen a proactive action from Tinubu in terms of, revamping the security architecture of the country. Now, it is unfortunate that security in Nigeria has not been solved. I mean, insecurity in the country. And when you look at the past regime, the previous regime, like that of the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari, they fought the battle. They fought the war against insurgency, and at the end of the day, we couldn't get a substantial, solution to it. Now, there is a new administration, and a few days ago, the president appointed new service chiefs. What do you think the president and the newly sworn in service chiefs will be doing differently, from the previous service chiefs and the previous administration?
Every administration comes with their action plans. Insecurity is a global phenomenon, and it is not peculiar with Nigeria as a country alone. The past administrations, in their best capacity, did all they could to address the problem of insecurity in Nigeria, which has over time threatened our unity, our economy, our national life. But I want to quickly give kudos to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the right steps being taken in the right direction. If you look back into what most, especially President Muhammadu Buhari, did when he was sworn in, it took him a lot of time to rejig the security architecture of the country. I was one of those that cried foul, speaking up against the retention of those service chiefs then. I mean, Gabriel Olonisakin and his own people. Just within the 10, 15 days in the office, Tinubu swung into action, like he has rightly said, that he's going to kickstart his administration plan. The moment he's been sworn in as a president. And one of the best he did so far as I'm concerned, is the sacking of the service chiefs and the reappointment of new service chiefs. How do I mean? He will be able to put his action plans in place and execute it. As far as they are concerned, we've not really seen much about their action plans, but I want to believe they are all competent personalities in terms of security matters. I know Christopher Musa, the new Chief of Defense Staff, who has been an operational personality, a personnel who understands what operation is all about. He has worked tirelessly in Northeast as the head of the task force that battled the Boko Haram insurgency, and he recorded a lot of victories. I know Taurid Lagbaja himself, who also worked tirelessly in Northeast. I don't want to be going to their profile.
Well.
I also know that Kaode Egbetokun, the new acting Inspector General of Police, did a very fantastic job in Lagos as the commander of the Rapid Response Squad back then. And a lot of successes was achieved in Lagos. You know what Lagos used to be back then, and the impact of RRS in curbing the insecurity menace within Lagos State in terms of robberies, in terms of hooliganism and others. So he did fantastically well in Lagos State. So going to the federal level, all these guys, I think the best we are expecting now is to drastically reduce insecurity if they cannot eliminate it, because they keep breeding here and there. Once this one goes down, another one springs up. It's global phenomenon. That's their routine. That's their operational system.
Why can't we eliminate it? You know, you just talked about reducing it to the to the barest minimum.
I told you it's a global phenomenon. In America today, you hear about school shooting, you have shooting in the street, you have of such in France, all those well-sophisticatedly equipped countries. They still face insecurity.
But it's not as rampant.
As a problem.
But it's not as rampant.
It is not everything
Nigeria,
it's not everything that media personnel will record. It's not everything they were exposed to us. But even with little they are exposing, it shows that they lack some basic things. If a gunman can run into a school and shoot as many people as possible, if a gunman can come to the street and shoot as many people as possible in a country like US, where they have their camera, they have technology-driven gadgets everywhere. So it happens everywhere.
So how much more Nigeria is underdeveloped, or what are you trying to say?
I am not dwelling on that, but I'm saying to you, to the whole world, that insecurity is a global phenomenon. But we will soon be there. Let me tell you, for a fact, the immediate past president of the country, General Muhammadu Buhari, did very well.
In terms of what?
Curbing insecurity.
Curbing insecurity?
Yes. When it came in 2015, almost 7 states were under serious threat. In Borno State alone, we have 17 local governments under the control of Boko Haram. Go and fact check what I'm saying. And I think the whole world is listening to me.
Okay.
17 states, local governments in Borno State were under the control of Boko Haram. When he was leaving, and according to the confession of Professor Babagana Zulum, who confessed that they were still facing insecurity in 2 local governments in the whole of Borno State. And don't forget, under Buhari's watch, they started building those vandalized cities, towns and villages in Borno North. And they are taking people back to their ancestral home. So that is a sign to you, to the world, that yet they couldn't defeat insecurity in Etireti, but they did a very fantastic job. So if in a single state alone, they can take 15 local governments away from Boko Haram. They did well. And they bought a lot of equipment to probe this problem.
Should that be a pass mark for someone who promised to flush out Boko Haram within 6 months?
Are you telling me that Obama failed in America? Are you telling me that Donald Trump failed in America? Do you remember what happened in America when they brought down about 40-something story building, a skyscraper building? When they attacked them and brought it there, September 9. Does that mean those guys failed as the president of America? Insecurity is not a tea and bread affairs.
Well, that was a promise that was not kept. That was a promise he made in the public. Are you not a Nigerian?
I'm a Nigerian, a proudly Nigerian. He promised us that he was going to defeat insecurity
within 6 months,
and to a larger proportion. I gave it to him.
8 years.
In a single state where 17 local governments fell under the control of Boko Haram, and the president took 15 local government back. They started building schools. They returned those people back to their ancestral home.
Just talking about?
They did well. They did well.
Is Borno the only state we have in Nigeria?
So also in Yobe. Anything from Konduga down to Dalori in Borno North. It is not a route that any man will embark a journey through. But they are returning people back to those ancestral lands. They are going back into farming. They build schools. They are returning people to school. A lot of people in the IDP has been returned back to their ancestral lands. Isn't that the pass mark? We have it everywhere. They did well. Let us give time. Let us give this new administration time to put their action plans on ground and implement it. Like as I was saying earlier, the only thing I'm expecting from them is a total and complete synergy. From the army to the navy to the air force to the police, the NSCDC and other sister agencies.
Let them work together.
A serious synergy. With that, we will be there.
Now, a few days ago, Asari Dokubo made a controversial statement that everybody really talked about in the country. And I believe you have one or two things to say concerning that. Of course, we all know that not all the military men do compromise at times. Now, what do you think the president should do in that aspect?
Asari Dokubo's statement to me is a clarion call. It's a wake-up call. These military, I don't know how they want to defend themselves, because in every organization we have bad eggs. It is in your family. It is in my family. All of us cannot be the same thing. We have good people and bad people there. I expect the new government to probe into that, and I don't think anybody is questioning Asari Dokubo. Which means no matter how worse it could be, there's an element of truth in what he has said. Why has he not been arrested if it is fallacy?
Though the naval spokesperson denied
He denied it, but can they challenge him in the competent court of jurisdiction? If it is true, because a lot of things will be exposed. We understand this is not a breaking news in Nigeria. It is not today we are hearing that the military, some of the officers, the high-ranking officers, the junior ones are compromising. They partner with the insurgency, as in the Boko Haram, to attack people, that they give information out to them. We are not just hearing that. Nothing whatsoever has been done. And to be within this country, we've seen a situation where some military men were arrested. They could not be tried. A lot of policemen were alleged to have committed one infraction or the other in terms of security. In this country, what happens? But this new administration, my word to them is this: take insecurity very seriously. If anyone is found guilty of committing an infraction endangering the lives and property of the citizen, they should be dealt with and made to face the wrath of the law. Because a lot of people will commit crimes because they are not being punished. They go scot-free. Other people will come. It becomes like norms. They will commit same crime or something more grievous than that one. So we should make people to pay for whatever sin they committed. So it's one step in the right direction to reduce crimes in our country.
Now let's quickly digress a bit. We have the National Security Advisor as Nuru Ribadu. I think Nuru Ribadu was the first EFCC chairman under the leadership of the then President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yes.
Now, what do you think has really justified Nuru Ribadu to get that portfolio, that position? Now, we have a whole lot of people there. Does it mean that we don't have credible people than Nuru Ribadu?
I am not President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Is it because Nuribadu was a presidential flag bearer under his party?
That's not a yardstick to appoint anybody into an office. Nuribadu is not the first or the only person that he has appointed so far. And as far as I'm concerned, I have no objection to the appointment of Nuribadu as the National Security Advisor of the country. He was the first EFCC chairman, like I have said, and he performed creditably well. He did very well. A lot of high profile. Under him, a lot of governors was arrested, tried, investigated, former governors, a lot of senators. So which means he's more or less, I don't know how many people they put online, but if the president found him eminently qualified to be the NSC, let us wait and see what he's going to do. He has a team of service chiefs under him that are capable of handling insecurity in Nigeria. So let's wait and see what it... Is there anything against... Do you have anything against Nuribadu as a person being the NSC in this country? Let us give it to the president who appointed him, that he knows what he's doing. Except if he acted contrary-wise, then we'll query the president for appointing the wrong person into the office of NSA.
Now, it is not only in the northern parts of the country we are witnessing, insecurity. We have the eastern parts and the western parts of the country as well. Enugu, Imo State, Anambra, Abia State, also are really, experiencing this. Now, the question is, Nnamdi Kanu, that was arrested and still in the custody of the DSS, don't you think we need to allow the sleeping dogs lie? Because the situation whereby it has been, the court has been, the verdict has been given, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and the DSS is still holding Kanu. Don't you think this will cause more alarm, or cause more problem in the eastern part of the country? Because just of recent, a video surfaced online, threatening the federal government of Nigeria, that if the government, does not release Nnamdi Kanu, there will be more problem in the eastern region and in the country as a whole.
The issue of Nnamdi Kanu is a very controversial one. Just yesterday, I was speaking with a friend from one of the eastern states, I'm not going to be precise, and from a very reliable source, one of the newly elected and sworn-in governor in the southeast is romancing the president, begging for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And I know Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a man that we always obey the rule of law. As a law-abiding citizen of this country. The past administration, their handlings of Nnamdi Kanu case and others, I don't want to go into that one. But let us be hopeful that the people from the eastern region who is mostly affected by the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, because as at yesterday, I was still probing into it, and somebody told me that the sit-at-home order on every Monday is still very effective in the eastern part of this country, and it's affecting their economy, it's affecting their livelihood, their businesses, and all that. So, and I don't think that should be. So Nnamdi Kanu should be made to tread a path of dialogue with
the government,
his people, to put on the table what they want from the new administration. And I know the president will listen to them. He's going to assemble, for now we have not gotten new attorney general, he's going to assemble people who are competent to handle
the case,
jurisdiction matters in the country to that office, so that going forward after the appointment of Minister of Justice and Attorney General, let us see how they're going to handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu. But I think it should be released Some of their senators, Buhari and others, they've been working around the clock. A lot of them vowed to stand for him as shorty in Buhari's administration, but it was not released because what they normally do then was to bring up another case after a verdict, releasing him. Another case will surface and they keep the guy in the detention. So I think the elders in the southeast should speak to un-abating and come to a conclusion and put forward their case to the president and the new Attorney General of the Federation as soon as he's been appointed. Okay. So they deserve peace in southeast. Their businesses should resume fully well, and their livelihood should not be jeopardized, should not be tampered with. They have their right to do their businesses any day, any time in the southeast. It's affecting them.
I saw a video, done by or made by the legendary, Fuji artist or musician himself, K1 the Ultimate, appealing to the president to release Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu. I think the government should be able to do something concerning that as soon as possible. But before we go, lastly, it is another festive season, Salah, Ileya as Yoruba
we call it.
Now, what are your expectations from the security agents? What do you expect? Because I realize that it is only during the festive period you see the police IG deploying 30,000 police to so place. You see the army, directing their men, to guide the country, to guide the citizens. Should we continue in this trend or continue with this trend? What should we do, to further enhance our security architecture to meet up to the developed world?
Let me first of all join the Fuji legend, K1 the Ultimate, to appeal to this government to look into the matters of Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, and other agitators, and grant them pardon as a father, bring them back, caution them, put his directive to them on the table. If they can comply with the rules, it's going to place on the table so that they can be restored back. He needs every Nigerian to come back. One thing led to the other. That's why they are agitating. But now under him is a man that is capable of uniting the whole country and bring people back to their father's land. As far as our Ileya festival is concerned, I think I should start by wishing our Muslim brothers and sisters happy Ileya from here, from Allnews. And I want to appeal to everyone to tread very softly. Ileya do come every year. This year on has come, another year will come. If you are traveling, drive safely. If you are in anywhere, be sensitive to your environment. Don't over-celebrate and not be cautious of insecurity. It is everywhere.
Over-excitement.
And the security handlers too should consider or give an imperative considerations to the lives and properties of the citizens of this country. Whenever they're celebrating, it is the norms. They should deploy more security so that people will not be attacked while they were merry enjoying their religious belief and celebrations. So I want to believe that the service chiefs knows what to do. They've been in service for 20, 30 years and they understand Nigeria better. So they should do well to secure the lives and properties of our people during the festive period. But while returning, drive safely, be conscious on the road. Some of our highways are still very bad. So don't overdrink or don't even drink while driving. And while coming, pay total attention and concentration to driving so that you won't go and fail to return back safely or return injured.
Where will you be celebrating your Ileya?
Oh, wherever I am.
Of course, there is inflation everywhere and people are seriously complaining.
We are get used to that. Wherever the duty call meets me is where I'm celebrating my own Ileya.
How much did you get your ram?
Ram? I've not gotten one because I'm not a Muslim. So I'm not going to. I don't have people that will be my guests for that day. So I don't. But if perhaps I'm a Muslim, I need to get because I'm alive. Whatever it takes to rejoice and appreciate my God for keeping me now. I don't mind the price.
Upon how expensive rams are now.
Regardless of whatever. We will cope.
I learned just a cow costs 700 to 1.2.
There's an inflation because of the fuel.
Subsidy removal.
The subsidy removal. But with time, we are going to get it right.
It seems you believe in this administration.
I believe so much in it. I put all my trust in this administration. Right. They are not God. But I know they can do it. They can do it better for Nigeria. With what the steps they have taken so far, they are in the right direction. And I give it to them. Right. I pray they were able to do the follow-up to the very end.
All right. Thank you.
They restore our refineries and make fuel to come down. Inflation will be dropped.
Okay. Thank you so much, Elijah. And I really appreciate you.
It's a pleasure being here.
For coming. Yeah. All right. On this note, we say goodbye to you on today's edition of Political Matters. Join us next time on the same platform. Michael Adekunle remains my name. From Allnews, we say Happy Ileya Festival. Bye for now.